Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 39 of the Everything Motor Racing podcast. Sorry for the few weeks off. I couldn't be asked. I'm not gonna lie. It's Christmas, so yeah, whatever.
Yep.
Jacob, who's 39?
Well, the one and only Lewis Salom,
Yeah, it is. God rest his soul. Do miss that guy quite a lot. He was one hell of a personality. That guy.
Yeah. Yep, he
But
was.
yep.
I remember I met him and
Yeah.
just passing in Silverstone, and I said, "How are you gonna do?" He turned around to me and went, "Full gas, my friend."
That's heroic. I didn't know
So,
that. That's cool. Fair play.
Yeah, just a little thing.
Yeah.
Just literally passed him in the paddock in Silverstone.
Jeez, fair play. So today, as you can tell probably by the title of the podcast, we've got a guest. Wow, way!
Yeah.
Special guest.
Woohoo! Special.
Whoa.
So if you haven't told by the title, I'm going to try your name now and butcher it. We have Zonta van den Goorberg. Is that right?
You can say Gorberg in English because
Yeah.
you can't really pronounce the Dutch way. It's impossible for English people.
Try it. Tell me how to pronounce it. I want to try it.
In Dutch, we say Zonta
Yeah.
van den Goorberg, but you can't really
Goorberg.
say the. It's impossible for English people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Full
really
back.
try to fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no chance. Someone did tell me the other week how to say it, but yeah, I'm shit.
Yeah.
But
can
yeah,
barely
It's
speak
bad as
English.
some English commentators. They say like Zonta van den Gudenberg,
Oh,
Goorberg, whatever.
yeah, I'd say
bad.
Goldberg. Goldberg?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Goorberg. Yeah, is what most people say.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear some of the commentary next year as they try and pronounce your name. That's going to be
Yeah.
hilarious. But yeah, it's nice to have you on. We've been meaning to have you on for quite a while, to be honest, but you know, it's just time constraints and stuff like that. It's always the way. But yeah, it's nice to have you on. Welcome to the podcast. Hopefully, we won't destroy your reputation too much.
Should all be alright, no problem.
For anyone who doesn't know, probably living under a rock, obviously you're racing in Moto2 next year in the Moto2 World Championship for the RW Racing team.
That is correct.
Yeah, it's a bit of a controversial move. Obviously, we'll go into that a bit later on. But the move has been surrounded by a bit of talk by the couch racers, as it is.
Yeah. The sofa
It's
racing
correct as well.
extraordinary.
So, you know, and we've been said, you know, there's nothing holding back on this episode, so I'm quite excited to get into the nitty gritty. But we ask every guest at the start of each podcast, and you are not excluded. Zonta, what are the 5 songs you're currently listening to at the moment? We kind of build up a list, yeah.
Oh my god. Well, let me open my Spotify.
Yeah, I deliberately didn't warn you for this.
No, I didn't know this.
Yeah, I know. I thought I'd just let him spring it on him and see what happened.
I mostly listen to English music. Actually, I used to
Okay.
listen to a lot of Dutch rap and hip hop like 2 years ago, but then I kind of switched to English.
Oh, right,
So
okay.
just loads of English rap, hip hop kind of songs.
Sick.
Um,
We should have some good ones then, because we've had some pretty naff ones recently. Sorry, Liam. So
Yeah, I tried listening to it after with Liam, and I had no idea. I was like, wow. It wasn't bad. It was just like, Jesus, the fuck is this? Like,
do you want some song names or?
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
want the names and the artist as well. We're just like 5 songs we're currently listening to, because we're building up a playlist basically on Spotify.
The last one I liked on Spotify, just my absolute most recent one, is called Elevate
Yeah.
by Nems with
Oh.
3 Z's.
Oh, okay. I've not heard of that. That
Nems.
probably been a boomer. Nems.
I got it from TikTok, I think. I liked it last night.
Oh,
It
right.
was my most recent song. I think I got it from TikTok. Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. Wait, I don't know the artist of this one. Let me search it up. Love Tonight by Shouse.
God.
Love Tonight by Shouse.
Oh, God. There's
It's
another
a
one.
banger.
fucking hell,
It's an
man.
absolute no.
I don't even
you'll-
listen to
probably when
fucking
you
normal
probably
music
when you
anymore.
hear it, you'll know that one.
Is
It's,
it the David Guetta one, or is it just a normal one?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'll listen to both later.
I think just a normal one.
Yeah. All right, I'll give
Probably
it a go.
when you listen to it, you probably you might know it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Are all
won't
your
lie.
songs just TikTok songs?
Yeah, most of them are
Oh,
just
God.
yeah, pretty much yeah. I got some Spanish songs there, but I don't know. Like, I was in Spain the other night. Well, quite some time ago. It was like Aragon with the Sev,
Yeah.
and like we got some Spanish song from some Spanish guys.
Yeah.
But I don't know which ones are actually good and which one are not. I just liked them all.
Hit me with them, because I listen to a lot of Spanish music.
Yeah, but it's like, well, I might as well just send you a screenshot of it later because there's like 10 songs, but I don't know which ones are good and bad.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I listen to them, I'm like, oh, this one is an absolute banger, and then the next song is absolutely horrible.
Yeah. Is there any Raul Alejandro on there?
Just all types of songs, man.
Yeah.
But it's mostly rap again, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Bit of reggaeton, you know.
here you go. Oh, sorry. Here, if you see this one, I think I quite like it. I think it's another TikTok song, "Popular Loner" by Kid Wild.
Okay. No, it's another one I don't know.
Yeah, it's all TikTok songs.
See, there's only one TikTok song I know, and that's Dua Lipa, "Levitating."
That's a bit of a banger, to be fair.
It is, but like any other song, I sort of tune it out. I just mostly watch dogs on TikTok. I do. It's great.
It's difficult for me because I like some songs, but I don't know the actual name of it because I just put a playlist on and I just listen to them. I don't know the actual names.
Oh, you're a psychopath. How can you not know the names of the songs?
Jeez.
Sometimes because I mostly listen to playlists of other people. I don't normally use my own playlist or whatever. So
Yeah, I know what you mean.
how many songs have I got now?
I think you've
That's
done three.
Oh, 3. Oh God.
He's
Here's a
under
bit of a
pressure
different
now.
one. Here's a bit of a different one. Rowdy by Sydney Youngins.
Okay. No, I've not heard that either. Rowdy by Sydney. Yeah, I've not heard any of these. So this is. Oh yeah, found it. Rowdy.
It's a
okay,
voyage of
looks like a
discovery
rap
for
one.
us.
Yeah, it is. Go on.
I quite like this one. DTB
Yeah.
by Mergs with 2 Z's.
Okay. I'll.
You like the boys with Z's in them, don't
You
you?
do, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just seen it now. Sometimes I know the title, but I don't know the artist. I never look at that. So.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
that's your
fair
5.
enough. That's your 5. Again,
Yeah,
it's not
not
ones
bad.
I've heard of, which is kind of good to be fair, because it's like we had Sean Della Kelly on, and he just banged in 3 Eminem songs. I was like, come on, man. So it's new stuff. It's new stuff we can
I
listen
think it's
to,
more
and,
where you grow up in it.
and yeah, and we can learn what the youth of today are listening to. Because I feel old, man.
Oh yeah, I'm a fucking boomer at this point.
Yeah, you are. How old are you now, Jacob?
I'd rather not say because I'm in really shit company right now with ages.
Yeah, you are like I feel old right now, and I'm like 23. So it's not good, man.
Yeah, I'm fucking ancient at this point.
Yeah, you are. But yeah, going into the questions, Mr. Zonta. I don't.
Spicy questions.
Zonta is your first name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
My full name is Zonta Alexander van den Gorberg.
Ah, okay, cool.
But
Because
nobody really uses my second name.
I've never, honestly, I will not lie. Before I heard of your name, I'd never heard of the name Zonta, but obviously it's Dutch, so
Yeah. No, it's not a Dutch name.
it's not a Dutch name.
No.
Italian?
No, I do not know anyone, nor my mates know anyone called Zonta. It's do you know Ricardo Zonta?
Yes.
By any
Yeah.
chance? Yeah. My mum and dad, just a little backstory. My mum and dad used to live in Monaco. Ricardo Zonta lived in Monaco. My
right.
mum and dad went to visit some friends, whatever. You know, in an apartment where you see all the name tags, yeah?
Yeah.
They saw Ricardo Zonta. Zonta was his last name, and they were like, "Yeah, if we ever get a boy, we'll take his name." It was not because they were friends with him. It's not because he was a good F1 driver. Well, I don't know how good he was, but it's not because he was an F1 driver. It was just because they liked the name.
So
But
they
it's
just-
not a common name at all. I don't know
Yeah.
anyone ever in my. I've never met anyone called Zonta. I don't know if there's even anyone existing on it that's called Zonta. With the
No, it's
No idea.
it's new, man. It's
Yeah.
it's refreshing to be fair, because you get too many bloody Bradleys and shit.
yeah.
Jeff
Like-
Van Den Gorberg. I haven't quite got a ring to it. Have I?
Yeah, Jeff. Fuck yeah. My name's Jeff.
Chef.
God. But yeah, so going on to your racing career, obviously you are the son of, I really should have got his first name. Is it Jurgen?
Yeah.
Jurgen.
Yeah, that's it. Jurgen van der Gorber.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
main question I get about you, Zonda, is he Jurgen's boy or is he
Is he your dad?
Patrick's?
Yeah.
As far as I know, I'm his son yet.
Yeah. God. But yeah,
As far as I'm aware.
yeah, fingers crossed. Like Jesus Christ, that'd be a story of a century if turned out. But yeah. So how is it you actually got into racing? Because obviously your dad's going to obviously play some sort of influence anyway. But what is it that actually made you, sit on a bike for the first time and learn to ride?
Well, I already started riding a bike when I was like 3 years old. I
Hmm.
really started riding a bike, but I was like a little electric trail bike.
Hmm.
Um, then, when I was younger, I used to do a lot of trail. You know what it is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like. Then after that, I went to do some MX, but just training.
Hmm.
So not really competitive. Just like one day in the weekend, we just went out riding. Um, then did 1 year of Dutch Championship.
Hmm.
I think this was still 65cc, so I was still a little kid.
Hmm.
Um, then when I did that season, in the end of that season, when was that? I think like 2016 or 17. I can look on my phone in a bit.
Hmm.
Um, we got there's every year there's a little summer camp in the Netherlands on the little track of Assen.
Hmm.
I think it's like 3 days and just all types of bikes and everything. And we got asked to ride an NSF 100.
Oh yeah,
Um,
the little mini Grand Prix bike, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. You know Barry Veneman.
Yeah,
Oh
I know
no, I
the name.
don't.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he used to ride GPs as well, I think.
yeah.
He asked us to come out and ride the NSF, to try the NSF.
Hmm.
And yeah, but then we went to Assen. We did 3 days uh on the track for the first time.
Was that the full circuit?
And
Was it?
yeah, no, it's just the small track, the small
Ah,
little
okay.
karting track.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then after that it was like, yeah, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go to motocross, or um are we gonna stick with motocross, or are we gonna go racing?
Hmm.
And I couldn't really choose myself, so I just let my parents choose, and they, of course, choose racing. That was quite obvious, but I didn't really realize that at the time, did I?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. So then, the year after that, we went racing, but I still did like the first 2 rounds of the Dutch Championship,
Was
and I
that?
was leading the Dutch motocross championship that year.
Yeah.
But then we just quit after like 2 or 3 rounds because then my racing season started.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was quite interesting because like we told the guys, yeah, I'm not coming anymore, and they were like, yeah, that we were joking because yeah, you're leading the championship. Why would you not ride anymore? Yeah, we weren't actually joking. We just never came anymore.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Bye.
Oh, they must have shit their pants when you didn't actually turn up.
They're like, ah,
yeah,
crap.
yeah. So then we went. I did one season NSF 100 Dutch Championship racing.
Hmm.
Then that was only what I started the season out like in the back, like 10th to 15th place.
Hmm.
In the end, I was for the second last race and last race I was on pole. I won 2 out of the 4 races, I think.
Fair play.
I got
Nice.
overall in one of them. The other one, I won the first race and I binned it in the second race after lead.
Oh.
I was a bit disappointed.
Yeah, just a bit.
But yeah, I started out in the back, and then in the end of the season, I was winning in my first season. And if you look at some names that were riding in that season, there, the
Hmm.
level was one of the. Still, the level wasn't great because yeah, in the end, it's just a local little Dutch championship. But if
Of
you
course.
see the names who were riding that season, the level was really high compared to like the seasons now. If you see the names, is like Justin Fogarty. He used to do ETC.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was another guy who used to do ETC, another one who used to do ETC.
Fair play.
Many guys who now ride the German Championship 300 or 600. Like many guys
Hmm.
moved to big tracks, and if you see the years after that, not many guys really went away from car tracks or did anything in racing. So to win already in my first year there was not, yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
good. Then the year after, my dad built me a bike.
Hmm.
It was a Italian chassis with normally an 80cc two-stroke engine in it, but my dad built a 150 motocross Honda engine in it. So then we went
Nice.
training on that on small tracks, and it had like 2.5 times the horsepower of the NSF 100. So it was quite fast. Then we went on big tracks with that. But yeah, it was a small bike. It was 12-inch. It got about 140, 150 on the straights, like top end.
Fuck.
Fucking
Yeah, just
hell.
a small bike.
On
And then on big
12-inch
track,
wheels.
yeah, just on big
Fuck
track.
that.
Was that on the
And
Meta
then
4, wasn't it? Is that it?
no, it's like an NSF 100, just more horsepower.
Ah,
And we went
okay.
on that with big tracks. And
Jesus.
then we got in 2018. So that was my in 2018, I think. Yeah, we
Hmm.
got a ETC bike, so just an NSF 250, but we kept it completely stock, so not really ETC tuned,
Yeah.
as far as you can really do anything on the bike there. So it was just a stock ETC bike. We put a massive exhaust on it, so it made no sound. So we did loads of track days on it. So we
Hmm.
just went out to little tracks in France or whatever, and then loads of track days on it. Then I did the last 3 races in 2018 in the ETC. Then full 2019 in the ETC. I started out more or less in the back as well. And then near the end of the season in 2019, I was like running in the front group.
Yeah.
Then 2020, of course, we did another season ETC, and I started out a bit difficult because the P4 race one, but yeah, the guy in front of me took track limit in the last corner, but didn't get a penalty, even though it was fully visible. It was a bit of bullshit. Second race, it got knocked off.
Oh
Then
man.
in Portimao, we had trouble with their bike.
Hmm.
But then after that, everything went quite a lot better, and in the end, P2 in the championship. And if I had a good start of the season, much more could have been possible,
Yeah, for
So yeah,
sure.
that
Yeah.
was quite a good season. Now, of course, season 2021, I did the Moto3 and the Junior Championship which was a bit of a difficult year. But yeah,
Hmm.
I did the Junior Championship in Spain this year, and the Italian
Italian.
Championship, and
Yeah.
also in 2019 and 20, I did Rookies Cup,
Hmm.
which was Rookies Cup was quite good. But yeah, the ETC 2020 was my best year so far, I would say. So yeah, that's kind of my career
Your
up till
career
now.
up to now, nice. Yeah,
Fucking
because
hell.
it's
It's not such a long career for World Championship riders. It's not like I've been riding, it's not like I've been racing for such a long time compared to other World Championship riders.
yeah, because now you're obviously 16 years old, going into the season at 16 as a rookie, which is it's very young, isn't it? It's not a bad thing. I just want to add, but to have achieved and done so much already is bloody impressive. When you go back through the years, and you've had obviously 2 years in the rookies, you've done the European Talent Cup, you've raced against some pretty strong talent. If you go back to 2019, I've literally got it on my screen now. The European Talent Cup, you've got Eisen Guevara, you've got Fermin Aldeguer, Ivan Ortola, Moreira, Adrian Cruzes, David Munoz, Bellon. They're all, and then obviously Fenton Seabright, they're all racing or will race next year in the World Championships. Joshua Watley as well. You've got some huge talent around you, and you've been racing against. And obviously, the World Championship is probably the next step for your career anyway. But to achieve so much already at such a young age is pretty impressive.
Yeah. No, I'd second that. That was it's bloody good. Another way to put it, it's just pretty good. Like,
Yeah, because with the ETC last year, it was a bit of a funny one because, like you said, you did struggle in the first part of the year, but then suddenly Aragon and Jerez whipped around, and you were suddenly you turned your season around. If it wasn't for David Alonso just absolutely wiping the floor with everyone,
yeah,
it was
Yeah, as I said in Estoril was a bit. Yeah, I got knocked off in race
yeah.
2, and otherwise I could have been on the podium there, whatever. But then in Portimao we had bot trouble, which only put me 7th
Hmm.
or 8th in the race, and that was a bit disappointing. But then after that we kind of fixed the bike up a bit, and yeah, after that it went a lot better.
Yeah, it looks like it, and obviously you did. It is a surprise because obviously this year you did, considering you said it wasn't too great of a year, but towards the end of the season, you definitely, you found your way with that Moto3 machine. in the obviously the Moto3 Junior World Championship this year, but you also were riding in the Italian Championship, as you said, on the Bion,
Yeah,
which is, correct me if I'm wrong, is a 450cc Moto3 bike.
yeah. It's a 450 Husqvarna, 450 Yamaha engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so. How does that 450 Moto3 engine, as I've saying in inverted commas, how does that compare to the the say the
250.
Honda? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the 450. Yeah. You make it sound kind of like it's load fast because 450 compared to 258 is
Massive,
double
isn't
the
it?
power. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not really the case. The 450 makes a lot less revs. It makes 11,200 revs,
Is that it?
but you
Gee.
need to shift at 10,000 because after 10,000 the power drops.
Hmm.
It's like the most of the power is at 10,000, so you have to shift at 10,000.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was
That's also how
evident
the lights on and like the dashboard is set up. So you shift at 10,000 even though you have more revs left.
Hmm.
On the Moto 3, you have around 13,500 revs, and you shift at the absolute maximum. So you try to rev out to the limit every time. So that's a lot different. Then with the 450, you have a little bit more torque, which is the 450 engine. So yeah, you have a little bit more torque, but then you lose a little bit on the top end because you don't have so much revs.
Right.
because you
So
could
that's
see
a bit
it.
where you lack a little bit. But
Because
yeah.
it was that, I think it was Mizano or it might have been Mugello, where your starts were just bang gone,
Yeah.
and then by
Yeah.
the time the KTM's had caught you on the street, they might as well have been riding a 600 because they were just gone.
Yeah. The starts were pretty good, especially Mugello round the first round we had. I always got them at the start, but then when we came to round two Misano, I didn't full throttle at the start. I just cut off. I had a normal start. I pushed at the start, but then as soon as we were away, I just cut off the throttle because I didn't want to lead. I could have pretty much led every time off the start by most of the races. I just cut off the throttle a little bit because I did not want to lead because there were other faster guys around me, especially in the beginning of the season, like Mizano, where I couldn't really handle the bike yet because the bike wasn't really behaving how I wanted it to. It was better for me to just stick behind in lap one and let them get the gap and then battle with them instead of battling in lap one and not gapping the rest of the field. So then I'll just cut off the throttle at the start, how weird that might sound. But yeah, it's not like Junior Championship where then you directly get attacked by 10 guys. It was just a leading group of 4 or 5 guys all the time, so it was fine.
Yeah. No,
So
because
yeah, at the starts I could lead, but yeah, then as you said, the top end lacked a little bit.
the grids as
it
well
was
in that
quite
series.
evident.
Yeah, the grids in that season are quite a lot smaller as well, aren't they?
Yeah, but I think the Italian Championship got quite underestimated this year. If you see the well, not really the top 4 in the standings, but if you see the top 4 in the races in which we rode, Elia Bartolini, Matteo Bettelli, me, and Alberto Sura, we all move up to Moto 3 or Moto 2. We all move up to World Championship level.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, because they're all like outstanding
And
riders.
most of the year, this is a lot different. It's not every year that the level is this high in Italian Championship. If you see next year, all of us are golden, and then the level drops by a lot. But this year, the top guys were quite fast. But as you say, it's not really such a big field like in Junior Championship, so you have not as many competitive riders.
Yeah.
It's not like you have 20 riders. You have like 5 top ones, which are really fast, but then after that you don't really have much. And then in the Moto 3, you have like the 5 top guys who are fast, and then you also have quite a big mid pack who can somewhat stay with that, and you don't really have that there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So,
sorry, go on, Jacob.
yeah, because obviously what I was going to say was Bartolini did the wild card in Chev in the final round, didn't he? And qualified at front row.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bartolini.
the level
Paulina
that's-
did in Jerez and Bettelli did in Valencia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bertelli
Wildcard.
did well. Bertelli did really well in the World Championship as well. I think it was 17th.
Yeah, he was sixth in practice 2 as well, but then he crashed in FP3 qualifying, which kind of
But yeah, that
ruined
showed
it a
the
little bit
level
for him.
of Italian
Yeah.
Championship this year. I think it was the highest it's been for a very long time.
Yeah, it won't be that high for quite a long time, I would say. But yeah,
So my
I agree.
question would be following from that because it's something I've always wanted to know. With the obviously the Italian Chiv Championship and you got the European Chev Championship, how do they compare to one another? Because obviously, an outsider looking in would go, "Oh, well, Zonta's on the podium nearly every race in the CIV, and then Zonta's maybe around the top 10 in the Chev. So Chev is a higher level. Would you say that's correct, or is it just what would you say is a higher level?"
Well, as I said before,
Hmm.
The top level in Civ is nothing worse than the one in Civ.
Hmm.
It's just the
Yeah.
mid pack level in Civ is not there.
There's
Yeah.
more depth in Chev,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. There's like 5 top guys in Civ, 5 top guys in Civ, but then there's 20 other riders in Civ who are competitive, and there's maybe 2 other ones in Civ who are competitive outside of the top 5. So that's a bit different than the field in Civ. So if you say is in which championship is the level high, then for sure Civ, yeah.
Yeah. That makes
They're
Yeah.
going to
sense.
fight for every point in Chev, haven't they? At the end of the day.
Yeah. And
Civ is just it's more competitive.
there's crazy because the amount of riders in that chat in the Chev this year who've got podiums and stuff is mental. And like, for example, as well between David Salvador and fifth, and we'll go way back to fucking hell, what's going on here? So David Salvador in fifth. Sorry, I'm having technical issues. And then you go back to 53 points is 14th place. There's only about 30
Yeah.
points separating fifth and 14th in the championship. Maybe 40
Yeah.
points, which is mental.
Mm.
And you've got riders all across the field getting podiums from Diego Moreira, obviously Jose Garcia, Asman won a race, Raider, Ogden. It's such a stacked field, and I do think genuinely that is a series where you can prove yourself. There are riders who don't excel in the Chev but excel in the rookies, and then vice versa. Ivan Guevara, for example, didn't P13 overall in the rookies, but then obviously won the Chev.
Like
So-
a Boazri.
Yeah,
He's a
Boazri
good
as well.
example.
It's an interesting, the way to get into World Championship. It just proves that there's not necessarily one route. You can go via the Chiv, you can go via the Chev, you can go by the rookies, and it's also interesting just to see how riders do across each championship. Like Battelle won a race in the rookies, and he did very well in the Chiv as well. And it's just interesting to see how riders do in different championships against different riders, if that makes sense.
Yeah. As you say, it's not always like you perform in all championships. Sometimes a rider performs in one championship, and then in the other championship is a bit lacking.
Yeah. I mean, like you did the rookies obviously for 2 years.
Yeah.
What was the reason you left the rookies? And do you feel that the rookies, what did you feel that you learned from the rookies? Because it does seem like everybody looking in, it's like it's the place to be. It's where every rider
No.
wants to be.
No. The
Straight up,
rookies
nope.
is
Come
the
on.
rookies is great for a starting guy,
Yeah.
but it's like Rueda moving up next year. I'm sorry to say, but there's no point in doing it now. The only
Thank
reason to
you.
do it is maybe getting like promoting your name and getting some extra track time. But
Yeah.
for a experienced guy like him who already did 2 years in junior championship, there's absolutely no point in doing rookies.
Yeah, I said the exact same. So thank you.
Yeah. I would say people quite overrate rookies.
Hmm.
I don't want to talk bad about rookies, of course, because it's an amazing championship, but the Sev is the place to be and not the Rookies Cup.
Yeah.
The Rookies Cup is great to have it on the side, especially for more starting guys. Look at a Maximo Martinez. I think Piquet is moving up. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
These guys are just moving up to Moto 3. They need to get the track time. They get to see the World Championship. Yeah, they get to be in the World Championship paddock.
Hmm.
They get to ride on different bikes. They have a different environment around them. They get to ride on the World Championship tracks. It's great for them. But to have a guy like Rueda, no point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zero.
you shouldn't be stepping back really
Yeah,
to an older machine at the end of the day with
Yeah.
less performance.
Yeah. People say the Rookies is like Moto 3, but it's not at all. The
No.
Rookies is like ETC.
Yeah, because the fact is, when it was last year, 2020, David Alonso was absolutely killing it, and he was doing the ETC. You know, and Altola as well. There are ETC riders beating Moto3 Junior World Championship riders in the rookies. It
Yeah,
was, and
look
you
at-
obviously you of course as well.
Look at Guevara. He finished behind me.
Yeah,
I think I finished 8th or something. I think he finished 9th. He finished one place behind me
Yep.
in the standings in 2020.
and yet you were an ETC rider, and he was a Junior Moto3 World Champion.
He was the World Champion Junior World Championship. It's crazy.
It is strange to rookies. Like I said, it's a great series and it's amazing for riders. But when you see a rider like David Alonso win the rookies as well as he did, and then struggle, you know, yes, he did. He got 2 podiums in the Chev, and yes, he
Yeah.
was maybe
Yeah,
riding a faster bike. But
Maybe.
you know, it's strange to see him do so well in the rookies and then not in the Junior World Championship. But then you see other riders do the opposite.
I would say the Junior World Championship is better to go off of
Yeah, yeah,
because the bike is a lot more towards the actual Moto3 World Championship bikes, of course.
yeah,
So, yeah.
of course. Yeah. Because I mean,
And also, if you see how everything works in the rookies compared to how everything works in the Sev, the Sev is more towards how it actually works in the Moto3. So if you're not competitive in the rookies, but you are absolutely competitive in the Moto3 Junior World Championship, like Guevara, it doesn't really matter.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
it.
strange because
Yeah.
they say like, oh, you know, the rookies build riders for World Championships, but then you got David Alonso coming in as a rookies championship winner in Misano, and he's like 28th
Yeah,
after getting a front row start in the Chev,
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
like a week before, and you're like, huh? What's going on
Yeah.
here?
No, you shouldn't go back. Like I quite rate the rookies in terms of a stepping stone. But that's all it is. Once you've stepped on that stone, it shouldn't resurface.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's great to start off of, but after that, it's
I
okay.
think you made the right call not going back. To be honest, it would have been
Yeah.
silly.
fantastic.
Wasn't really any point anymore.
No, right. Moving on a little bit. So obviously you did 1 year in the Chev Moto3 series this year. Last year, I keep saying this year, and you're obviously making a huge, like this is like a massive step straight into the Moto2 class, completely skipping Moto3 World Championship and skipping the Chev Moto2 series. And obviously the move has come under quite a lot of criticism, you know, from riders who've raced against you, riders who will race against you, riders, you know, journalists all over online who aren't in your shoes and don't know what it's, you know, they don't know everything, the full situation, to be fair. Do you feel that, you know, how do you feel the move is? Do you think it's a good move? Do you think it's a bad move? Do you think that maybe you're going to be out of your depth? And do you think maybe that you've made this move too early?
Well, I think it's a good move, but
Yeah.
otherwise I wouldn't have done it, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a bit biased to do.
Yeah.
I would as you say, a lot of criticism, but I wouldn't really say that.
Mm,
I expected a lot more negative
yeah.
reactions, a lot more, quite a lot. But yeah, quite a lot. Like on my Instagram, things I saw from on social media, most of them were positive,
Mm.
at least like 80-90%. But you always
Jeez.
have some guys who are not really that positive, you know.
Yeah.
Of course, there are some journalists who, I better not mention the name.
Yeah.
Do it.
No, we've discussed it.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah. That are negative, you know. They need to get their news. Yeah, they need to get some articles written from something, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I was
If
very
you see
concerned,
many
actually.
guys in the paddock, like coaches of riders or team bosses, whatever, most of them were all positive.
Hmm.
Like none were really like, what the actual F are you doing? What's wrong with you? All of them were just positive, like, yeah, it's a good move, but yeah, it will take time, but it's a good move. Riders I spoke to, they were all good and happy, and yeah, nobody was really like, yeah, what's wrong in your mind? Why are you smoking?
Yeah, what are you going on about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So
that's,
yeah.
that's good, man. I mean, I got
Yeah.
so many negative messages. Maybe it's different behind closed doors or whatever, but Jesus Christ, the shit I got about it. But you know, it's good that you're in good spirits anyway, and people are being, you know, good to you about it. Because at the end of the day, it is a fucking, it's a deal you can't really
Well, it's
turn
done
around.
now.
Yeah, but you don't have to mention any names. But
No,
I
no,
reckon
no.
most of the people who messaged you are not actual riders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of them weren't. There were a few riders that I was a bit surprised
Yeah,
by, but you know, it is what it is. I
but
think,
uh,
you know,
most of the people, I guess, who message you are not riders. They don't know what's actually going on or whatever.
yeah,
They don't know the
100%.
backstory and everything. So yeah, I didn't even know any riders were talking shit, but yeah, they might. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, yeah, most of the people who talk bad about the move don't are not really included in the racing world, if that makes sense. So
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. Yeah, that's it. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it is a good move for you and your career, and it's a Dutch team as well. You're a Dutch rider, Dutch team. You know, it means you're not going to have the issue of, cause many riders are going to a team and have the issue of maybe not, you know, things get lost in translation as well. You know,
no, the the actual team boss is Dutch.
yeah.
So RW stands for the letter of his first name, the letter of his last name, the first letter.
Ah,
So, but he's not really at the races, but yeah, he's Dutch. Then the
okay.
team manager is Dutch.
Yeah, I know
Then I
that.
bring, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Then I bring one Dutch mechanic, my cousin. He's been my mechanic since the start of ETC already, since 2018. He's
That's
been my
awesome.
mechanic.
Nice.
We bring him, but then other than that, the whole team is Spanish,
Ah,
Italian, English. My data guy is Italian. My chief mechanic is Italian. My main mechanic is Spanish. All of them are just from different countries. There's not an actual Dutch team if it comes to the team members, except
okay.
the team manager. Then, so yeah,
Didn't
What's
know that.
the language in the camp? Do you all speak English? Or...
English. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
My data guy and my chief mechanic, they speak Italian with each other
Hmm.
most of the time. But if I'm talking to them with them, they talk English, of course. But then if I'm not there, they sometimes talk Italian with each other because it's just their main language. But yeah, most of the time we all just speak English.
Oh, that's good. That sounds
That
good.
makes
Yeah.
sense. And if it's to
Yeah.
each other in Italian, you know, they might help, you know.
Yeah.
I
So
don't have any complaints there.
obviously you've already done a test on the bike at Portimao. Obviously the old bike now because the team is switching back to the Kalex, which Axel Pons rode a few years ago. So they have got experience with the Kalex in the series. So what are your initial feelings with the Moto 2 chassis, and how do you feel that obviously you haven't rode the Kalex yet, so it's quite difficult to be able to translate it over. But do you feel that, you know, you'll be able to gain a bit of an edge with the Kalex, or, you know, how do you feel about the switch to the Kalex and your current feelings of the Moto 2 machine?
Well, the I had two tests, 2 times 2 days, 2 days in Portimao. My first test, we were just a track day,
Yeah.
and then 2 days Jerez with the official Moto2 riders and some Moto3 riders,
Hmm.
which was pretty good, I'd say, because in the end I was only 3 seconds off, and
That's not bad.
my ideal lap time was 0.8 faster. So, but my ideal lap would have been 2.2 off, and yeah,
Yeah,
No,
that's
if you
not
look at
bad.
I was
that,
very
yeah,
impressed, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't
with respect
wasn't bad at
to
all.
any NTS, I
Yeah.
don't think it's another competitive chassis compared to the Kalex, you know.
Yeah, well, I've seen the Calyx in real life because it's in a workshop in Loma, which is like an hour from my house. The workshop
Ah.
of the team is there, so we went there the other day, and I've seen the Calyx, and it looks a lot more narrow and stuff. It looks more racy. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course I haven't tried it yet. I was quite happy with how the NTS felt. I just had a lot of trouble on the rear. If you put a new tyre for 5 laps, it's fine. But then after that, the bike just starts to get so wobbly. Like it just starts to move so much.
Hmm.
And I said this to my gym mechanic. Like I can't, for example, Jerez turn 5 coming out of there.
Yeah.
I just could not get the bike under control. Like I was just shaking so bad. I was like, yeah, I can't ride like this. And then if we put a new tire, it's fine again. But then he said, yeah, we can't change anything about this. It's the bike and especially the suspension. I think for me, which was the main issue, because well, if we would have continued with NTS, we would have ran Öhlins. Yeah,
Hmm.
we won't continue.
Yeah,
So
that would have been a smart move.
we were not riding the Öhlins. So for me, the main issue was just the rear, which felt like suspension. it felt like the chassis was pretty good. But then, yeah, of course, I don't know how good it actually is compared to the Calyx, but I don't reckon it's so bad. If you look at riders who moved from Calyx to NTS or from NTS to Calyx, it's not like the results change so much. If you look
No.
to Ciarine, he moved from Boscoscuro speed up
Yeah.
to NTS, and the results didn't really get any better, but he didn't really get any better as well.
Yeah, I think
He just stopped
the only rider
to
who
get
really made a difference was Joe Roberts, but he was an anomaly as opposed to the
Yeah.
norm.
yeah. If you look at Bo Benchard, he went from NTS to Calyx. Results didn't really get much better. So I wouldn't say the bike is too bad. But yeah, of course, I haven't had to test the Calyx yet, so it's difficult to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can imagine it is. I mean, what are your expectations for this year? Do you have any hopes for it, or are you feeling like, it's just a year of learning kind of thing?
Just to live, just a year of learning. Just learn the tracks, learn the guys, and just get to know the bike, and try to finish as many races, and
That's good. Because
try and make some progress.
it's a 2-year deal you've got, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's advantageous because obviously, especially with your age as well, you've got a free year basically of picking up everything, doing it your way, your pace, etc.
Yeah, for sure, 2-year deal.
Yeah, fair play. That's good.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have moved.
No. So if that move didn't actually come about, what would you have done? Would you have tried for the Moto 3 Junior one? No, the World Championship Moto
World
3?
Championship, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
We had many. Well, I wouldn't say many. I don't know really. I think some people think it was a bit of a desperate move because we had nowhere else to go or whatever. But we had plenty of Moto 3 contracts on the table to possibly make a switch to Moto 3.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
it's
good.
not like we had no opening in Moto 3. We had, if we wanted to move to Moto 3, we could have moved to Moto 3 as well.
Yeah.
With some good squads as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like you wouldn't have been with a B team. So
yeah. Well, of course we were meant to go with SRT, which was the A plan.
Yeah.
And then now kind of went into the bin, innit?
yeah.
Then we had a couple B plans to like go to Moto 3 with different teams. Not necessarily bad teams, but it wasn't the main plan. So then my dad and just kind of went, do you think, outside the box with my uncle, and they came up with this Mode 2 plan. And then first it was for the Sev, for the Sev Mode 2. But then it came up like, why not the World Championship? Why not do straight to World Championship? Because you can do Sev, you have 7 or 8 races, some on GP tracks, but not all. Or you go on the World Championship, you have 20 rounds, all on World Championship tracks. With the fast guys, you learn a lot more.
Yeah, you learn so much.
If you see Fallon and Alonso was the better rider. If I just say it just in general.
Yeah.
For me, Alonso was the better rider. Lorenzo make the switch to World Championship 1 year earlier than Alonso. Alonso did a wild card and he's a minute behind Fallon in the race.
Mental.
Yeah.
You see how much you learn in the World Championship compared to Sev is crazy, and that's why we were like, why not the World Championship?
Yeah.
Then
I agree.
the C Open, and it came up, and then we just kind of went for it. Yeah.
If you've got the opportunity, take it, isn't it? It's just it's not like 99% of riders. If someone puts a World Championship ride in front of you, you have to at least seriously consider it. You can't just dismiss it.
Yeah, we wanted to go to World Championship anyway. First of course Moto 3. That was a plan. But then the SLT plan went out. Then this came up, and we had, as I said, some other Moto 3 plans, but this was the better thing, especially with how I'm growing, not just only like growing speed wise, but also like actual growing, like how tall I'm getting. It wasn't really any point really going in Moto 3 and just getting absolutely reeled on the streets again like this year.
Yeah, like your teammate,
no chance.
Yeah, like your teammate Barry Baltus had to switch to Moto 2 because he was getting tall, and he's a fucking unit. That guy, he's bloody huge. He's still only 17, man. But
you're both well tall. It's massive. Like, it's outrageous. It's probably a good thing that you're both the same height, I think.
Yeah, it's good. Only benefit the team. But you made a really really good point actually about Lorenzo Felon, because he started the season at Qatar in like the back. He was backfield. He's a back marker, full back marker. And then by the end of the year, he was qualifying top tens. He was in the Q2s
Yeah.
quite a lot. It just shows how fast he developed. To come from the back of the grid to being, he still didn't score any points, which sucks because actually, genuinely, he was absolutely phenomenal by the end of the year. And like other riders, like Jason Debasquier, obviously, he didn't score any points in his first season, and then he was getting P7s this year, obviously.
Yeah.
And he could have gone on to get podiums. I'm absolutely sure of that.
Yep.
And it just shows how fast the World Championship is and how quickly it can force a rider into developing into being a class rider.
Yeah.
Sink or swim, innit? At the end of the day.
The
Yeah,
what?
I've got a question. Your Moto3 deal for 2020. Do you want to take us through a little bit of that, like in terms of what you had?
You in 2021?
Yeah, 2021. Sorry, I'm stuck in to like 2019.
Yeah. Well, I don't know anything about contracts. I don't get told how much I get paid, how much we have to pay. I don't know anything about that, so I can't really bring you into any detail of that. All I know is that we were meant to get the C and SRT. We were about to sign the deal, probably being teammates with Asman. But then, as my dad was in contact with Johan Stigefeld to sign the contract, he was like, yeah, we have to wait. Something is happening and we have to wait. And my dad was like, yeah, is it because you guys don't want Zonta anymore? Or is it something else? And he was like, no, we do want Zonta, just something else has come up and we need to fix this. And that was like maybe 2 weeks before the whole Petronas is quitting with SRT came out.
Yeah.
So that all developed really, really quickly. In like 2 weeks' time, all it was gone.
Fell through because Asman signed the deal. I don't know if that's public information. Sorry if it is, but Asman signed the deal. He was meant to move up with the Jonas squad, and it just hit the fan really.
Obviously, in your Chev season as well, you had some SRT backing. Is that correct? Like in terms you had an old SRT chassis, and you were meant to get Mark Woodage, who was at the time
meant to,
meant to, who at the time was Jake Dixon's
John McPhee's
crew chief. Sorry, and he moved to Dixie. Yeah, that's right. But obviously that didn't develop as much as you would have liked, obviously.
Yeah.
So can you tell us like a little bit about that as much as you can?
Well, we got some backing from SRT, not from actual Petronas, because many people, some people say we got backing from Petronas, but Petronas is just a sponsor of SRT. So we got some backing from SRT, like some bike parts, chassis. As you say, we were meant to have Mark Woodage with us all the races. But then, so I guess bike wise, we had support from them. Just like as you say, Mark was meant to be there every round, and that didn't really go to plan, has it? Yeah, as it was meant to be.
For
so
one, didn't you? I want to say.
Sorry,
didn't you run for 1 or 2 rounds in the end, wasn't it?
He was at Aragon.
Yeah.
He was at Barcelona. Misano kind of, he wasn't in our box, it was just there the race, but he was there working for Petronas.
Yeah.
Barcelona.
It's a shame, I think, because you made a
noticeable
like
2 or 3 rounds,
Like you made a noticeable step from Aragon and Barcelona, like with him in your box. And it's frustrating.
We made a step in Barcelona, and then we made an even bigger step in Jerez. But that was because we were meant to have Mark with us in Jerez as well, but he wasn't there. Then you might know him, Josef. He is the data guy for Snipers last year. Now he's moving.
Yes,
he was the data guy from Snipers and in the World Championship, and the data guy for Otola and Noah Detweiler in the Junior Championship for MTA. next he's moving with MTA to the World Championship. He was at the Sev rounds, and then in Jerez he helped us a lot. He looked at our data, he gave us some feedback, and we started the scene with the setup of McPhee basically, and we came to the point in Valencia where I just said, I can't ride this bike. I can't do anything with the bike. If I try anything, I tuck the front. I save on the elbow, but I tuck the front. It chatters away. It tucks. I can't do anything. And then we came to Barcelona and we fixed it a little bit. But then we thought we fixed it and we put a new tyre. And I remember this. So I brake into turn 1. I turn it in and the front end chatter like mad. And I came to the box after saying, I was like, yeah, it's impossible to ride. And then in Jerez, we went the complete opposite way this up. I was like, yeah, this is just not working. Then Joseph came and helped us, and we went basically the opposite way, the way he goes, the way he went with his riders, the way he went with Minho and Sura and Salach, the way he sets up the bike, and it was so much better. Then in Jerez, much better. Well, the result was a bit maybe. I didn't have any luck in Jerez. So, but the pace was a lot better in Jerez. In Misano, the pace was really good, but yeah, I couldn't do anything on the straight, so that was a bit of a shit, well, not shit result, but this result wasn't great, but yeah, the pace was there. So yeah, then it kind of all turned around, so yeah, I see a lot of, if you see my 2019 season, the ETC, it's kind of the same season I had this year in the Junior Championship. I start off in the back, then in the end I'm in the front, and then the year after I would be, in 2020 I was fighting for the championship in ETC. You know, I kind of see a lot of familiar things between my 2019 season in ETC and my 2021 season in Junior Championship. Start off in the back and then improve the bike, and I could, because
I agree.
it just wasn't easy for me to work at the bike. I couldn't do what I wanted to, and then in the end we kind of fixed that a little bit. I got on myself, and I got back into my rhythm, and then it all kind of turned around. Yeah,
I remember you telling me about when you'd found that new setup that obviously Joseph had put on there for you. And I remember how positive you were talking about it and how you actually ride the bike how within reason, how you wanted.
Yeah, it was
just
way better.
Changed just straight like that, and then all of a sudden you were up 10, 15 places.
And Jerez was already like in the front group battle, and even though in race 1 I had to get from 30th place in lap 1 because I got tagged, I dropped all the way back to 30 and I finished like 9th or something. That was amazing for that point.
Following your progress, and I was just like, 21st, 15th, oh my god, he's in the top 10.
That was I had a bit of luck there with the crashes of the other guys, but in the end,
you make your own luck at the end of the day. That's the way I see it.
It kind of all just turned around the end of the season. So
it was really I was very happy you found the setup because you couldn't continue how you were. It just wasn't working.
Yeah. Definitely was not.
It's funny you mentioned Joseph actually, because my phone has literally just blinked to the notification of him liking a photo on Instagram. Just quite funny.
It's like Beetlejuice. You said his name too many times.
I was like, what the fuck? But so next question would be, obviously your dad, Jürgen. I think
nice.
Shit with names.
Jürgen.
He's obviously an ex Grand Prix rider, and often, very often actually, shows his support for you on social media. Whenever I'm on Twitter, his name's always there, like, way. But he's also like very nervous, you can tell. How much of an influence has he been on your racing career? And without his support and background, do you think you would be racing currently?
Well, I get that question often, and I'm sorry to say, but I find it a little bit stupid.
Sorry.
Because no, nothing aimed at you, because you can't know. Yeah. But from my point of view, a question I get more is, what did you learn from your dad, racing wise?
He raced 500.
And I just say everything, but nothing, kind of, because without him, I wouldn't have ridden, probably. But I didn't learn anything from him. But in the end of the day, he was there for me always. He was there for me from the start. He was the guy in the beginning. Of course, it was just us two. It was my dad in the van, and we went riding. But this was all like on the NSF 100 still, and he teach me my riding style and everything. So he teach me everything. So yeah, the question, which I get asked quite often, what did you learn from your dad? Yeah, everything because he was the one who taught me racing. He
Yeah.
was my coach. He was my he brought me to all the races. He got the bike ready. He did everything. So yeah, in the end, yeah, without my dad, I would not have been riding now. And if I did, I probably wouldn't be this good because yeah, he's been my coach all the time now. So yeah,
Fair play. I mean,
Um,
what would you want to do? What would you think you'd have done with your life if you weren't a motorbike racer?
motocross. But yeah, probably without my dad, I wouldn't have did motocross either. So yeah.
Gone to school
Go-
and
going
become
back
a
to
lawyer
that,
or whatever.
I wanted to be I wanted to be a professional motocrosser. If you see like when I talked about stuff I wanted to do in the future when I was a kid, I
Yeah.
always said I wanted to be a motocross rider, professional
Damn.
motocross rider.
Well, it makes
But
sense
then
being
yeah, in
Dutch.
the end it kind of became professional racer. Well, I hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, going back to that, in terms of like what we said about your dad, obviously he rode 500s. You know, he rode two strokes for the bulk
Yeah.
of it. What, if anything, from that has he been able to like translate over to current racing for you, like in terms of what he could teach?
Well, he especially when I was like before, he's quite a good mechanic. He was still my mechanic this year. So he always works on the bike for me. He gets my bikes ready, etc. Then, of course, he knows how to teach me the riding,
Yeah,
the
like, that's what I
riding
mean. Like,
style.
obviously,
He knows
riding
how to
style.
read data. He was my data guy this year because yeah, Mark was meant to be there, but he wasn't. So he was my data guy this year as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, he because he raced so long, and you have some racers like me who are not a mechanic at all. They I'm not really interested in the mechanic side of things. I don't really want to be a mechanic. But he was. He was interested in the riding and the mechanic side of things, which is really helping me now. Because without that, it would have been a lot harder for me to get. Because then,
yeah. I mean,
how
like
would I get my bikes ready and everything?
in terms of like riding style, like, because you
Yeah,
know,
well,
like
no.
obviously
If you look,
today,
wow, um, if you look my riding style when I absolutely first started, I'll send a picture to you guys later so you guys can see a bit of the guys at
Yeah.
home, of course can't.
Sorry.
My riding style was motocross
Hmm.
on a race bike. It was the head. It was like old school. The head on the tank, bike pushing down. I got massive lean angles. Don't worry about that. It's just I didn't lean off the bike at all. On my first 3 days of riding, already I think on day one, it's my first day racing, day one, I already been there like 3 times. But for me, this was really normal because I came from motocross, and in
yeah,
motocross, it's not really special to crash 3 times a day. You just, especially when you're a little kid and you ride like sand tracks and you're on a small track, 65cc, no speed. You just go into the turn, you just lose the front, or you go over a berm and you just fall over. So
Mm.
I crashed 3 times in racing, like something like that, and it was not special for me. It was really normal. I just pick up the bike and I go.
yeah,
But you know yourself in racing, even for small guys, it's not normal to crash in racing. Well, yeah, it's not normal to crash in motocross as well, but you crash a lot more often in motocross than you do in racing.
yeah,
So that kind of helped me a lot in my first part of racing because yeah, when I crash, I just pick up the bike and I go again. I wasn't scared of crashing or anything, which in the end, yeah, does quite help if you're not really scared of
yeah.
crashing. Because
Is it?
yeah, in the beginning, I did crash because I didn't properly know how to ride a bike. Then, as you say, with the riding style, if my dad teach me that, a lot. If you see my riding style now, if I say so myself, I have one of the nicest riding styles of, especially if you look at the ETC junior championship. I really like my riding style, and we've really worked really hard on that in my beginning of racing. On the NSF 100, put a camera on the bike, watch my riding style. My dad say to me, "You have to do this." He showed me the footage of what I'm doing wrong, and we just kept improving my riding style. And now, yeah, now my riding style is quite good, I would say. And yeah, if you see compared to other guys, some people just don't have a nice riding style, and that
Yeah.
is something we started with right from the get go to get a nice riding style, and yeah, it kind of succeeded.
Yeah, it is. It's just big bike style basically. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it
With
was
the Moto
more
3, it looked a bit bulky, but yeah, it was
yeah,
just
there was more a
bit big. But
concern
yeah,
of like obviously today it's all like elbows down,
yeah,
get lean right off the bike. But back in your dad's day, it was upright.
yeah,
You didn't even have elbow sliders.
yeah.
But obviously, if
Head
you
on
can
the
read
tank.
the data stays the same at the end of the day, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's very useful.
Yeah, it's good. I've got a question I'm very intrigued to ask you because myself and quite a lot of people are very against this. It's about the new rule age limits. With obviously MotoGP, Moto2, and Moto3 being moved to being 18 plus as of I think next year.
Yeah.
This without obviously now you've gone through, you're fine obviously because you weren't affected by these limits. But how do you think? Because obviously you would have to do 2 more years in the Chef if it wasn't because of these rules. If you were affected by them, do you think these rules are good for future riders and limiting obviously injuries, crashes, and fatalities, or do you think that it's bad and will hamper riders' careers? To expand before you answer, I do think that it'll be really good for the junior GP. I think it will be incredible for that series. I think that series will really flourish because of the rules. But I just wanted to get your thoughts because obviously for you, if you had to do World Championship at 18, you're spending the next 2 seasons in the junior GP again.
Well, I think if you look in 10 years, it's good. But right now, it's not good. The reason they say they do it is to get less fatalities with all the stuff we had happening this year with all the horrible accidents and the consequence of that.
Yeah.
That's not going to get fixed at all, and they know that. They know that. They of course say they do this rule to get rid of the fatalities, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But they know themselves it's not going to get fixed, but they have to do something. They can't just sit around and do nothing. I reckon in 10 years, if like all the age limits are normal, because it kind of starts to affect you from 10 years on to 18,
Yes. Yeah.
things all on to 18. So in 8 years, I reckon it's fun because if you see now, in 8 years, you'll have younger riders, but they have more time to develop themselves. They have more time to work in their social life as well. Because if you see many Spanish riders now, they just quit school directly, and maybe things like this, maybe they get a little bit less. So riders are a little bit more developed before they get into bigger class of racing. I think that's good, but for now and for the reason they do it, as you say, I'm also completely against that, to be honest.
Yeah, because I think that I'm going to be controversial here. I don't think they say obviously it's to stop the fatalities, but it's to stop kids dying on racetracks. They've not done anything that affects the bikes and affects the racing to slow down the gaps.
You see, that you cannot get rid of the accidents we had this year.
No.
If you see, all of the fatalities happened not because they crashed, not because they're unexperienced, not because they make a mistake and they crash and they hurt themselves. It's all because they crash and get run over.
Yeah.
Dupasquier gets run over on top of a hill, blind.
Yeah.
Milan crashed on lap 1 or 2 with a whole pack behind him.
Yeah.
Blind for the other riders behind because there were other riders in front.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know how Vinales crashed, but it was also in one of the first laps, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was early in Jerez, and it was there was a huge pack of like 10 riders. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
he
what
was
I mean.
hit by
It's
4.
So it's all because they get hit, and you can't really do anything about that.
No.
It's so they move the age, but all you will do is instead of saying, this guy had a fatal crash when he was 15, you just say this guy had a fatal crash when he was 17. That's all that happens. Nothing else. But you can't really do anything about the fatalities. You can say, they didn't do anything about making the racing less close. But if you see how Dupasquier crashed blind on top of a crest, couldn't do anything about it, even though if racing would not be that close, wouldn't matter.
Yeah. It's
Milan first or second lap, you can't get it. If you say the racing is too close, but it's the first or second lap, it's for sure it's close. Same for Vignal, it's just unlucky.
It's just luck.
It's just been a bad year that comes through accidents, an absolutely horrible year, which should not have happened.
Yeah.
But we can't really do anything about it. It's the risk we live in now, and yeah, if you see now, this year has been really bad with the accidents compared to other years. I reckon next year, well, I reckon I fucking hope it won't be as bad as this year.
I do
Yeah.
as well. It was
No, I'd like
pretty cool.
If next year is again as bad as this year, I reckon the sport will make a big turn. But I don't think it will be nearly as bad. Because
Yeah.
how many years ago was it when we had a last fatal crash in racing?
Louis
before
Salon,
this.
2016.
Yeah, that's
so
what I mean. It's
But like
it's
that's
4
in
years.
GP anyway. I'm not
This
sure
was
about the other
unprecedented.
series.
Yeah, maybe in like small
Oh,
term, but yeah, I'm not sure about.
Andres Perez, wasn't it?
Yeah, Andreas Perez will be the next
2018,
Chev.
yeah.
But like
He got
this
hit
was
as well.
unprecedented.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not sure how that happened, but
I've
I think
said
he got
it
hit as well.
before, and I'll say it again. I think it's a good start, and I think the hope is that you were slightly more mature and not taking as many risks. But on the flip side of that, I think maturity in racing comes from racing with others. So it's a
but
6 of one, half a dozen of the other job.
yeah, but what does maturity matter in the accidents that happened this year? What would it
That's
change?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not saying they would have prevented any of
Yeah.
these accidents, but I think the hope is that it does help you in the future. Which is it's a good start, I think, but it's not the answer.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like I like it. I'm okay with it. I don't hate it, but I also think they need to do slightly more. Like reducing the grid sizes in ETC was a bigger step for me.
Yeah, that was massive.
Yeah.
But it's a weird one because at the end of the day, these crashes can happen. You know, Marcus Simoncelli only had 2 riders behind him, and it's a freak accident. It's just with the game changes. You know, you've got riders who, I'm going to be straight here. Some riders have managed to get in the World Championship through sheer luck, and if they say had to do the Junior World Championship for one more year, they probably wouldn't be racing now because they couldn't afford it. You know, so for riders right now to have to do 2 extra years, for example, in the Junior World Championship, could end them and end their careers early.
Yeah.
But going on
like Alonso.
Yeah, Alonso, exactly. You know, I can pick another few riders out, but I think they wouldn't appreciate me saying their names. But we go on the maturity of riders, and I want to ask you a question, actually. You've raced against this rider. We mentioned him on the podcast a lot. Jacob knows. What are your thoughts on David Munoz and his riding style?
I think that says it all.
Yeah, that's another, isn't it? Too crazy.
Yeah.
If you see what he did to Kelso in Jerez, just absolutely
he was
smashing him on the straight. Like,
yeah,
what
but
are you doing?
It was all Kelso all year long, and then he smashed into him at Mazzano as well. And it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Joe was not happy about that.
No, I spoke to him. I spoke to Joe a lot in Misano, and
he's got some choice words, hasn't he?
Yeah,
beginning with a C.
Yeah, but as you say, I think Munoz. Yeah, but does any of you know what happened with Munoz in Valencia? I was in Valencia.
I know.
Wait 1 sec. I was in Valencia on Thursday. I was watching there because my dad and cousin were in Valencia, but they had to get the engines out of the bike and get some type of parts and leave it in Valencia. So we were there a day early before we went to Jerez. I was watching the whole day in Valencia. I watched every session. There was one red flag, but at that point, one rider in front of us at turn 11 crashed. He high-sided. The bike was on like the green. So I thought the red flag was because of that. Then later on the day or the next day, I see this happened. Munoz crashed on the straight, something like this. But I didn't see any of it.
Yeah. So like he somehow decked it on the straight. Honestly.
But how?
Yeah,
what happened?
I know what happened.
Knows.
So Munoz was on the straight. The flag for the end of the session had gone out, and a rider was on the straight going a bit slower, and Munoz basically just piled into the back of him because Munoz was going full pelt, and the other rider wasn't, and the flag was already out, so the rider was going slow because the flag was out. And from what I've been told, I don't know fully how truthful this is, but from what I've been told by riders who were on track, etc., he basically hit him full pelt after the flag.
Yeah.
When
full
he
chat.
should have
Did
been
they
going
both crash?
Yeah, I believe they both went down. I'm not sure.
Yes.
I've seen
Yeah, that's
I've
right,
seen
yeah.
so many photos of Zonta of Munoz's bike that's smashed to bits, but
Yeah, they both.
Yeah, I
crashed.
didn't see any of that either.
have you not
I
seen the
saw
photo?
one. No, I didn't see anything.
Hold on, I'll
I
send you a
saw
photo.
I read an Instagram story of what's his name again? Mr. Mushroom, who rode for Cardozo in the last race
Hmm.
as well.
Mr. Mushroom.
Yeah, Mr. Mushroom. He looks like a
Oh
mushroom.
yes,
with death.
Ferroli, is it the Italian?
No. The one who normally rode for Australian ETC, but
Yeah.
he rode for Cardozo.
I know exactly who you mean. I can't remember his fucking name.
Morelli. Morelli.
Morelli.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Morelli.
Oh,
That's
sorry,
it.
I just had to recover from that. He looks like a mushroom. Fucking hell.
I saw a little Instagram story of him. He said, the bike was broken of Munoz.
Yeah,
But I didn't see actual pictures.
check your Instagram.
Yeah.
I just sent it
Oh,
over now.
it was fucked.
Wait, let me check real quick.
Yeah. He's just.
My God.
Yeah. It's
Sorry
It
for the
wasn't
audio
pretty.
listeners.
Oh my God.
Oh, that fucking finished me off. I did. Sorry, I got a tear in my eye because
The mushroom guy.
He does that.
He does now. Now that you think about it, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, the mushroom guy.
Yeah. Now you said it, I
Mushroom
can't unsee it.
Yeah. But now you see what happened with the Munoz there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you know who he slammed into, or you're not meant to say?
I don't know. Genuinely, I have
Yeah,
no idea.
Nobody seems to know. I guess
Yeah.
the only guy who knows is the one who got fucking piled into. Like,
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a weird.
but nobody posted anything on Instagram of it.
No.
If I wanted, yeah.
I think
I
they
think-
just took
yeah,
him on the
yeah,
back and
yeah.
kicked the fuck out of him. To be
But yeah,
honest.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. I really am interested to see how he does next year. I freaking had an argument with him, Munoz, the other week actually about it. But I even said to him, "You need to bloody calm down, mate." And then he goes and does that at Valencia. I really am going to be very surprised how he does next year. I don't want to talk shit about him, of course, especially I don't want to put your name on the line. If you want me to shut up and cut this all out, but I'm really, really, really intrigued to see how he does next year.
Oh, he's a fast rider.
Oh, he's
he's
unbelievable.
super
He is a future world champion. I have no doubt in my mind he'll be a future world champion.
Also, I'm quite good friends with him. I'd say,
Yeah.
because I rode rookies with him. Did
Mm.
I? I don't know. Did
Yeah,
I?
you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I think so. I don't know. I think so. Yeah.
I'm
I
sure you
did.
did,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did.
Yeah, last year, yeah.
Yeah, so I spoke with him sometime. Also in the junior championship, when I see him, we all just have not really a little chat because he doesn't really speak any English. But yeah, we just say hi to each other and everything. I met him in Portimao because he was in Portimao as well. The MotoGP race weekend.
Hmm.
I think it was there for a contract or I don't know. But so yeah, I'm off track. He's quite nice to
He's
me.
a nice kid, isn't he?
It's always the way, though.
Well,
isn't it?
not to everyone. I reckon if you chat to
If you tapped in Kelso, probably
Yeah,
chat
yeah,
to
yeah,
a
yeah.
different light.
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
I don't think he's
I reckon
roundly
he'd
liked.
have a little bit of a different opinion, but to me, he's nice. Also on track, he's alright to me.
Hmm.
But yeah, I reckon if you meet him in a last lap battle in a race or
Oh.
things he did to Kelso is just
It's too
is
far.
unacceptable. And if you do that next year in the World Championship, you might just
You get race
Yeah.
bans this year.
yeah, exactly.
He's already got a
think-
name for himself, and
I think the fact that he's going to be starting late in the season will actually help him.
I don't know. I
because
think it'll fire him up more to do better.
But no, what I mean is he's not going to be fucking grabbing penalty points first 3 races.
Hmm.
He's going to be almost a clean slate halfway through the season, so he's going to get warnings before they start saying, "Look, fucking stop it now," because they will, because you can't continue like that. If someone
Yeah.
rides, because it's so frustrating because he's so quick.
He is
But
rapid.
if you remove the fire, do you
unbelievable.
remove the rider? That's the other if and R, isn't it?
Hmm. Yes. So I want to turn it back onto Zonta before we end this podcast because we are running quite long.
Yeah, I told him an
Obviously,
hour.
you're
Oops.
racing against some older riders, some riders in their mid-30s, riders who are 20 years older than you. You've also got some younger riders as well. Do you feel that riding with guys more than W age will be difficult for you? Do you feel it's I don't know, how does that make you feel?
I don't care.
Fair enough.
I don't care.
Cool.
I don't care if they're 10-year-olds. I don't care if they're 50. I don't care if they're 20. I don't care if they're 30.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
They just summoned the
And-
beats.
Age is a number. Well, it depends. If you're a 40-year-old man, you're into 16-year-olds. Age is not just a number, but just for racing, age is just a number.
Jesus
For me, I don't care who I'm riding against. Of
Yeah.
course, you have, I guess, a higher respect for the World Championship riders
Yeah.
compared to some new Junior World Championship riders, for example,
Yeah.
like
Of course.
rookie Junior Championship riders who you don't know. I guess you have less respect for then a professional Moto2 rider, even though you always have respect for other riders, of course.
Yeah. Of course.
So I guess in that way, it's a little bit different for me to ride against them. But in the end, I don't really mind who I'm riding against. If I'm battling with someone, even though it's my best friend in the paddock, even though it's my worst enemy, even though I don't really have any.
Yeah.
In
I
the
get
paddock.
you.
Come
Okay.
on, for me, especially in the Sev paddock, I'm quite good mates with anyone in the paddock. With
Mm.
well, of course you can't be mates with everyone,
No.
but if you see like many guys, for example, like Alonso, even though I was battling with him like blood and teeth in the end of DTC, of course, if I see him, we had a lot of chats this year. We just see each other in the paddock and we just chat for like 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
We just talk about whatever. Most of racing, of course, but yeah.
Well, the thing is,
Um,
you're all around the same age in the Chev and all like
Yeah,
working to a
yeah,
common
but you
goal.
have many riders who are like, just as an example, Kelso and Munoz, who don't want to talk to each other. They don't even want to come near each other. But if I see Kelso, I'll chat with him. If I see Munoz, I'll chat with him. I don't really have any enemies in that paddock, which is quite nice. Of
It's
course,
nice,
you'll have
yeah.
less friends in the World Championship paddock because I know less people there, so that'll be
Yeah.
a bit different. But yeah, if I see the guys I rode with the last couple of years, it's all been fine, to be honest.
It's weird seeing like who some riders are mates with. Like when you see like Joe Kelso hanging around with Lorenzo Della Porta, and you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And it's Dan Guevara and stuff. It's like
yeah,
it's a
it's
weird
like, huh?
connection,
Or,
but it makes sense. It's just a really weird
Holgado
connection on
and
paper.
Aldeguer are good mates.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
Holgado is one of the guys who not many people chat with in the paddock.
he seems like a
He's-
good kid though. He seems nice.
That's
Yeah,
probably
he's nice,
why
but
it's only
He
like
he doesn't really chat to so many people in the paddock.
Hmm.
I don't want to say he's full of himself, but he's a bit of
he's very driven.
yeah.
Determined,
Basically.
driven
But then if
dude.
I see him in the paddock, he's quite nice. He always just says hi to me, waves a hand, have a little chat. And
Hmm.
if I'm honest, I think a lot of this is also because when I did so well in the ETC, I gained a lot of respect with many riders, but I still stayed nice to them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, because of course I was no one in the paddock before, but then in the ETC, of course, I started to perform well, and then even though I started to perform well, I didn't really get on top of myself, if that makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
And I think quite a lot of that transfers into, for example, a Holgado still just even though now he was in the top of the junior championship, I was in the back in the junior championship in the beginning. He was still nice to me, you know. I reckon this
Well,
will
manners
be a
cost
bit
nothing.
different next year because many people don't know me there. But I reckon with some time, it's quite nice that now with me moving up, some of my friends are moving up as well, like Kelso,
Yeah.
Wortley. I'm already mates with Josh for like 3 years now.
Josh is
Yeah.
a good kid. I like Josh.
A little bit
Mm.
less with Kelso. I talked to him a lot in Misano, but before that, not really so much. Then I talked a little bit with him in Valencia, but I wasn't really there for long. So yeah, but it's nice to have guys like that moving up
Yeah.
could all
with
support
me
each other.
the same year. So you have some people in the back you can reach out to, you know, or like when you have a day off between races or whatever, you can just go and do something with your friends instead of being there alone and not knowing anyone.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh
that's it.
yeah,
That's gonna
it's
help
good.
you.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
One last question from me before I pass the mic to Jacob and ask if he wants anything.
I haven't got anything to crack on.
Oh, sick. Which rider are you most looking forward to racing this year? And which rider are you least looking forward to racing this year?
Well, 1 sec. Let me quickly get an entry list. I'm not fucking running.
Wonder who I'm racing this year.
Shit.
Entry list of Moto2 2022. Just have a list, you know, just make it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Let then. MotoGP, oh, that's a bit big.
Yeah.
Well, that's for the future.
I think SDK would be a freaking good one to race.
I didn't really talk much to him. I talked to him a little bit in Portimao because he was riding there as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When I was testing there, he was testing as well. And I chat to him a little bit, but it was already on the day before we went riding, and he was really nice.
He's a
Yeah.
freaking that
He
guy
is
is
cool
honestly
as
one of the
fuck. I do like
nicest
Sean.
guys.
Yeah, he was so nice. Just laugh and then just I
Yeah.
reckon he after a good race weekend, having a little beer and then just not me because I'm on the
Yeah.
red.
Yeah, you can't say that.
No,
Having a fizzy
after
drink.
After a race weekend, I reckon he's just
Bit
he's such a
lemonade.
chill guy to just meet with, and
Yeah.
Yeah, he was when we had him
All
on.
right,
Yeah, he was just so relaxed. I can't say enough good
that's
about him.
what I'm least looking forward to.
Yeah.
That's
With
Can
we
Fanati,
guess?
I'm thinking Fanati.
I'm
Come
gonna
again.
say. Ooh, actually, Joe, I think you've taken it. It'd either be Fanati or possibly Aaron Canet, because Canet is a hard racer.
yeah, but I wouldn't be riding with Cal, I don't think.
You have aspirations and all that.
Be a bit weird if that one.
Maybe
Maybe it would be
practice,
fucking.
like-
That would be a
great
hell of a
happened.
performance if we do manage to actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure about Zacconi. I think he's a little bit of a
Oh, he's tough. Yeah.
of a hard one to race as well.
Hmm,
But I don't know really because I haven't really ridden with him, of course.
no.
On
and
the
then I should
surface,
say
yeah.
Fanati, but that's just because of his
His record, yeah.
not great reputation. If you see that,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
when I was riding in Spain 4 weeks ago, something he was there as well, riding an R1.
Oh wow.
Yeah, then he was all nice and good, and he was riding a little with him on track because he passed me, and yeah, it wasn't really anything crazy. He passed me like a absolute
No, I mean when the helmet comes off, he seems like a really nice guy, but when the red mist comes up, he's like, "What?"
yeah.
Yeah. Aside
Yeah.
from
But I think
one
he
incident.
has matured a lot compared
Yeah.
to the things he's done before. Because if you see this, he was one of the nicest guys in Moto3 if it comes to battling.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think it's so bad.
No,
I think he's
so-
scared, to be honest, of
Yeah,
fucking
like when he
around
took
with
that long
anyone.
lap penalty.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's overly cautious now, and I think he needs to think.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, he only had one incident this year, which, most riders have one incident a year at the end of the day.
Hmm.
He's no
That's
worse
it.
than normal now.
So
People
do
say
you
he
think?
should still be banned and shit. Nah, come on.
Nah, I've kind of forgiven him mentally as well. To be fair, I
Yeah.
think he's proven that he's not the
He's
same
done the
guy
hard
anymore.
yards. He's shown remorse. It's no, I
Yeah.
doubt he's going to do it again, but you never know.
No. So are we saying Fanati is most least likely to? No,
Fanati and Zacconi.
What about
I think, sort of
Salach?
Sakone, fair play. Salah
Oh.
is yeah.
yeah, he's a bit of a tough one, isn't he, as well?
He's a
Well,
bit
I
of a nutter.
talked to him a little bit sometimes on the phone, and
He
he's
seems alright.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know on track.
I
so
think he's
yeah,
another
it's a
one.
bit-
Like, as soon as the helmet goes on, he's just a fruit. Like,
Yeah.
And who do you
so,
think? Who are you most looking forward to racing again?
I'll just
Or is there no
I
name?
reckon Sean
Yeah.
would be nice. Just
Yeah.
name a few.
I think SDK
Albelino.
is the one. Yeah.
Yes, I believe
I'm looking forward to riding Albelino. When I was riding like 4 weeks ago in Spain, when Fanai was there as well, Albelino was riding there as well on an R1.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I
Decent.
talked to him a little bit.
He's
Yeah.
quick
He's
on an
fine.
R1.
Pedro?
Lois, Sam.
Yeah, Sam Lowe's, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going on numbers. So it's just,
So there's no one you actually want to ride against. You're just picking names up.
Acosta,
Yeah.
Pedro, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Did you race against him in the rookies? I think you did 2019 and 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was
I
he
got
like?
some side by side pictures with him.
Oh yeah, sick. What was he
Oh,
like
yeah.
to race against?
Quite alright.
Yeah, because he was fucking quick, wasn't he? He was a rookie's runner-up as a rookie, wasn't he?
A rookie.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
runner-up in 2019
He
and
was
then
a
the
runner-up,
champion
yeah.
20.
Here, I'll send you a thing on Instagram now.
Go
Just
for it.
quickly check your in. I'll send it to both of you as well. Yeah. This is from the rookies, side by side with
Oh
Acosta.
yeah, look at that. Fair play.
Oh.
Got a picture of the
It's in
champion.
Oh, nice.
Flexing. yeah,
Yeah.
nice
I bet he
one.
shows
Yeah,
all
he's
the
quite
girls
nice to
are.
ride with.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh yeah,
And then
good shot.
I reckon Dixon as well. I reckon Dixon's quite a nice lad to battle with.
Yeah, I reckon Dixon would be.
Yeah.
He'd put up a fight. He wouldn't let you have it easy.
Yeah.
But he's clean
Definitely.
mostly.
Yeah, he's
Well,
clean. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. And Alcoba will be
I reckon Rodrigo will be a bit of a tough one to battle with as well.
yes.
We're
no
of the
brainer.
opinion that
Sorry.
Rodrigo will be the same as you. He'll work well with a bigger bike.
Probably, yeah, but he's used to riding bigger bikes. All he does is ride R1s.
Yeah.
They're like Fancy C600s. All he does.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
this is a bit of a thing for me. People call riders like Acosta a rookie in Moto2 next year. People called Raul Fernandez a rookie this year, but he wasn't an actual rookie. He
Yeah.
already rode more time on the 600 and 1000 than he did on the Moto2.
Mm.
Than he did on the Moto3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because
So in the end, he's a rookie, of course, in the actual championship, but he has so much experience already on the big bike. So,
yeah,
I
exactly.
know what you
Yeah.
mean.
Pedro's always doing it. He's always on the R1,
Yeah.
R1M. It's
Yeah.
Costa factory thing.
It's a good headline though, isn't it?
Mm,
Rookie wins
yeah.
title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though like
Oh.
he was, setting lap records in an R1 before he even come into the World Championship.
Yeah.
Trust me, when both of them are doing well earlier this year, my website popped off.
Yeah.
The CPM was nice, mate. I can't lie.
Yeah, that's it. Like
Yeah.
even though like officially they're a rookie, they're not really. So yeah, I'd back you on that.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice one. Well, yeah, I haven't really got anything else to ask you. Really sorry. But I've really enjoyed having you on, Zonta.
Oh, good.
It's
Yeah.
been a
Been a long
nice
time
pod.
coming.
It's been a chill one actually, because normally I'm like friggin' nervous as shit for our guests. So this one it was nice to just chill out and relax a bit, you know.
Chat a bit of
Chill
shit.
vibes, isn't it? It's much better. It.
Chat shit. But
Just,
yeah,
just chill the man them.
yeah, bye.
He had definitely been chilling with Watley too much.
Yeah, you have.
Chilling with the man them.
No, man, them blood.
Modular.
You get me, blood.
Yeah. Moji.
Well, gee. God.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, it's been really nice to have you on. We can add you to your name to our list of guests that's ever growing week by week. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck this year. We're probably going to get you on again at some point because we're going to get all our guests on again, I think, at some point to try and,
A reflective.
yeah, reflection. So we'll probably get you on again at some point if you're happy to come on. But, it's been really nice to talk to you. And yeah, I really wish you a good year this year.
Thank you very much. No problem.
Nice one.
It's a nice little chat.
Yeah, nice little chat. Hopefully people
Yeah.
listening, it's not just like, this is fucking boring. Jeez.
And if you are, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, if they are, then they're probably not listening now. So it's fine.
Yeah.
I
Good point.
chat shit about now.
Chat shit and get
Why
back.
anymore?
That's a good idea, that is.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for coming on. Like I said, then yeah, I think I'll end this podcast here.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you very
guys.
much. Bye bye.